Hey, Pizza
The
Dog.
real star,
The real star.
Pizza Dog.
Without a
Hey,
doubt.
hey, folks. We are now live. You're listening to some of that authentic behind-the-scenes chit-chat. That's extra. That's usually only in the Patreon versions. And
Green room.
Green Room. Welcome to BAMF. We are here talking with RPG legend Chuck Rice, as well as Walter Billiard and Jacob Blackman about Hawkeye.
Hello.
Hey, Chuck. Welcome back to BAMF. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's good to see you guys.
Good to see you. All right. Forgive me. I play our contractually obligated musical intro. And that bit of branding, in addition to giving Jacob a chance to shake his thing, assures you, gentle listener, that this is a high-quality, artisanally crafted podcast without any audio defects like you just heard. So,
Or barking.
or barking. Disney Plus has a
Pizza
show
Dog.
called Hawkeye. It's really the Pizza Dog. It is based on the Marvel Cinematic Universe character of Hawkeye, who is loosely based on Marvel Ultimate's Hawkeye. And Chuck, how do you feel about this?
I think the show has been great so far. It's got everything I want in a Hawkeye show, which is Lucky the Pizza Dog and the Tracksuit Mafia. So uh, and Jeremy Renner is bringing it. The guy seems intense, and so yeah, I have enjoyed it quite a bit.
I have just watched a couple episodes, and I have liked it so far. My wife really dislikes the actress playing Kate Bishop, so it's been hard to talk her into it. Walt, have you been watching this?
I have. Me and the wife have been watching it, and we're both archers. So we came for the bows and stayed for the fun, and it was interesting. That scene right there was kind of funny, but it's really neat that he's a character that doesn't have all the answers, and there's a lot of fun little bits in this that are just fantastic. My favorite so far, it's so guilty. Because a quick story, in the 90s, I went into a hobby shop to pick up some RPG books, and there was a Vampire the Masquerade thing in the back, and I almost got drawn into it until they realized I was carrying a live firearm. After that, they didn't want to make any more references to biting me or anything. But I didn't know what it was. Like, I had no idea what LARPing was. So, like, here are these guys standing up looking menacing, and I'm like, boys, not cool. And the owner's like, dude, no, it's they're gaming. I was like, oh, okay, now I feel stupid, and I could possibly be arrested. But then, fast forward to this show, and he has to deal with a LARPing society in order to, kind of move the story forward. I thought it was fun the way he was just like, I'm not getting into this. And at the end, he was kind of getting into it. So, I mean, it was,
Yeah.
it was fun. And, Pizza Dog is cool. I like that they have Pizza Dog in there. Kate is a little, much, but I loved Echo so far. I hope they take her further, like all the way into the suit. And if you have not read the Marvel comics that this is based on, that's all I'll say. But I think Echo is pretty damn cool, and the Tracksuit Mafia, of course, is funny when Kate Bishop is like trying to help that dude with his girlfriend. I was like, this is great. So yeah, I'm having fun with it. I mean, it's not high media in any sense, but it's fun. I like the fact that Jeremy Renner is like wooden in all his things. He's like, I just want to go home. Like, he's not really into it, but at certain points he kind of gets into it, and then he's like, no, I got to get home to my family. So I mean, it's fun. What do you think, Jacob?
Well, as one who hasn't read the comic that this particular story is based on, I've been enjoying it for what it is. I like the series. I've enjoyed pretty much everything the MCU has had to offer, and this is no different. It's been progressing the characters nicely. It's been progressing the story and the world nicely, and it's giving a nice opportunity for Clint to have the out that he is ultimately looking for. But you never know where the story will ultimately take us. But I would assume that we're going to have Kate Bishop in the role of Hawkeye towards the end of it, and he's going to go off for his happily ever after with his family, like he wants.
We could always hope. But if this is popular enough, they could end up. Yeah, there you go, Old Man Hawkeye.
He's never going to get it.
I am so sick and tired of those freaking old man comics. I don't need to see how the modern day people think the Marvel characters need to end. Let the characters progress normally.
Yeah, no. I was going to say, I don't think if the show is popular, they're going to let him just fade into the background. If there's a sequel series, they'll bring him back for either another holiday mishap or something.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, what'd you think?
I had a good time with it. I just watched the first 2 episodes, so I haven't gotten to Echo yet.
Did you watch the second episode, right?
I thought I did, but if she was in it somehow, I missed her.
She's at the end.
Okay, so maybe
the girl that the tracksuit guys go in and they're like, man,
we have them both.
We have them both. That girl who turns around, that's Echo. That's Echo.
All right, I missed that completely. So, I'm digging. I'm having a good time with it. It's exactly what I wanted from the show. It matches. Oh God, who was the guy who wrote the series that we're talking about? Fraction.
Matt Fraction. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of got that fun. There's a lot of banter. There's a fun dog that you like. It's my favorite kind of superheroes that don't take themselves too seriously, but there's enough urgency to drive the plot, and there's a lot of wisecracks. It's pressed my buttons so far. My wife really hates Haley Steinfeld, so I'm gonna have a hard time getting through the rest of the series. But this is kind of my preferred setting for superheroes in general. I do have a soft spot for Cosmic, but I really like this sort of wisecracking street level Daredevil, Hawkeye, sort of stuff. So
one of the things I'm happy about is the world's not at stake on this particular plot, and it's nice seeing some of the classic C-list villains like the Swordsman and all that sort of thing.
Oh hell yeah, the Swordsman! God damn, I was so happy when I realized that's who that was.
Yeah, that was cool. What was really funny too is one of my friends that goes to the same archery range that we do. He called up and he was like, "Dude, is there a new archery thing on TV or something?" I said, "Why is that?" He goes, "We've had like 15 people walk into the lanes in the last couple of weeks, and most of them are girls." I was like, "Yeah, well, that's cool." He's like, "Yeah, but is there another Hunger Games or something like that? Because the last time this happened, it was Hunger Games." I was like, "That's awesome."
I used to know some guys who worked at an Aikido studio downtown Denver, and when Steven Seagal was a big deal, oh my,
oh god,
yeah, there was a time. I'm not from an alternate universe. There was a time people took Steven Seagal seriously as an Aikido Akijitsu guy, and he was even had apparently credibility back in Japan as being the first Westerner to really get into this. And now he's this weird joke who lives in Russia and looks like a guy who you wouldn't have any trouble taking out in a fight.
He looks like he should be the leader of the
Tracksuit Mafia.
Yes. Thank you for bringing us back on subject, Chuck. I appreciate that.
Oh god, that's awesome.
Yeah. Look, no one embodies Aikido more than Steven Seagal. All right, just leave it at that. The ethos, the pacifism, the quiet confidence. That's all Steven Seagal. So
I can hear the sarcasm dripping onto the floor from you, sir. So, Hawkeye, what have you guys been thinking of the fight scenes and the action and stuff like that?
It's okay. I don't want to give it a hard time. It's not Iron Fist level. Choreography is all right. It's not Daredevil level, but it's
thank God for that.
Yeah. At no point do I want to cringe and look away from the screen like I did on Iron Fist. So it's been all right.
I really enjoyed that car chase, though.
The car chase was amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Wait, there are more dangerous arrows than this one. Mike, you haven't gotten that yet, so that's in the next episode. But
what I very much appreciated about the fight scene is that he's getting his ass kicked until you put a bow in his hand. I thought that was a really great arc of, it's like, oh wow, she's really beating the crap out of him. Oh, okay, he has a bow. Everything's okay.
Another thing I've really been enjoying about this series is showing the huge dynamic there is between two characters who have the exact same kind of training and background. Because as we saw from the opening of episode 1, there's pretty much a nice montage showing Kate with all her martial arts and weapons training, going through all that. She's done everything that Clint has done in order to prepare herself for what she wants to do with her life, except for all the real world experience that Clint has, which this series is showcasing. These are two people who have the exact same level of training, but Clint has all the real world experience that she absolutely does not.
So in the Ultimate Comics, they didn't really lampshade it too much. They were like, yeah, Clint was working for S.H.I.E.L.D. back when it was basically a clandestine wetworks shop. And it was him and Black Widow out taking care of things quietly. And then Captain America came along and they decided to do the Avengers initiative, and all of a sudden they're wearing superhero outfits. But in the movies, we never actually talk about what Clint and Natasha were doing before the Avengers initiative. I mean, it's kind of...
There's always Budapest.
There's always Budapest. Yeah. So I don't think, I mean, this is a happy Christmas time comedy. We're not going to get into, if this ends in some kind of homage to Home Alone with them setting booby traps in a warehouse to take out the Mexican mafia, I won't be surprised.
Awesome.
Oddly, though, Disney just did a reboot of Home Alone, another Disney Plus original.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. They had one of the kids from Jojo Rabbit as the as the Macaulay Culkin character. And actually, the dad from X-Force, he was also in it as one of the burglars. So,
oh God,
yeah, it was about what you'd expect a Home Alone reboot to be. So, I would ask how we would game this, because I often ask that question on this podcast, but I'm pretty sure I know what Jacob and Walt would say. Chuck, I'm suspecting you would say Super's 20, but what would you, if you wanted to game this series at your table these days, what would you do it with?
I mean, look, no one has ever accused me of being bright, so I will not name a book I wrote. And instead, I would say Vigilante City, which has an archer class and has a ton of trick arrows on the equipment list. You could do this series using Vigilante City with zero work. It would take you about 10 minutes to stat up characters. So I would say that rather than what anyone with a brain would say and, name something that they wrote.
Mike Button. Yep.
You're very quiet there, Mike.
Mike is embodying the essence of Hawkeye right now.
And just to scare everybody a little bit of how much your browser listens to you, I just went to look for more Hawkeye references on FaceSpace, and here comes my archery shop right in an advertisement right there. That's great.
Huh? That's crazy though, because no one listens to you when you're online. How does that happen? Mike Zuckerberg assured me personally that Facebook never listens to me, and I believe him. He seems nice. He's the son of our beloved Commander Data, and so he had a good upbringing.
He does look like that, right?
He is the son of a synthezoid from the future, and he is an honest man.
But yeah, Vigilante City's cool.
Yeah, we actually have demoed that on this podcast. It was a good time, at least the bit I was there for when my system crashed. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. We should play that again sometime. I really enjoy board games. Many offerings, and I say that without being compensated at all by them. But yeah, it was fun. All right, so how do we think this series ends? Gives me hot takes. Give me predictions, you guys.
I would like despite my usual. I try not to do this. I'm hoping that Hawkeye gets Christmas with his family, and Kate gets to become the new Hawkeye, and not necessarily join the Avengers, but certainly become someone that they can call upon when they need someone with a bow.
Do you think we'd see a Young Avengers premiere at the end of this?
Teaser last episode. I think they're building toward Young Avengers. Absolutely.
Yeah, they're absolutely building towards Young Avengers because we've seen a lot of kids so far in all of the other Marvel series, all
and
the
Cassie,
other Disney Plus Marvel series so far.
Cassie's going to be in the next Ant-Man movie. I mean, it's all heading in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I just want to see Echo in the mask. If you've read the comics, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You're gonna make me Google this because I am not remembering this.
Don't say it on the air because people who haven't read the comics, they're not going to make the association. And this is in a further storyline where Clint. The storyline that they're actually using is a hybrid of the comics and another storyline where Clint, who we see in the MCU, was Ronin. In the comics, at one point, Ronin reappears, and it's not Clint Barton.
It's Echo,
and he has to go find out who that is, and the reasons behind it, and all that stuff. And it's so this is kind of like a hybrid between the two storylines.
Did we get a Cap appearance last episode?
No.
No,
I don't think so. I don't think he's going to come out for it. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson said, "Look, I never turned down a role, so we might get Sam showing up at some point." But I mean, I doubt Captain America would.
Oh my God! If this series ends with Nick Fury having Thanksgiving dinner with Hawkeye and his family, it'll be the greatest TV series ever made.
Right.
Honestly, though, I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for it's just name popped right out of my head. Blonde Black Widow to show
Florence
up
Pugh.
Yelena. Yeah.
I'm waiting for Yelena to show up because that's what they hinted at with the end of the Black Widow
movie. Yeah, and if you go to now, spoilers once again, if you have not done any of this, just shut me off right now. But if you go to the cast list of Hawkeye, she's in the cast list.
Oh well, shit, she's going to be there then. Okay, that makes sense because she can't show up last episode. Then it's got to be the episode before the last because they have to fight first, then they become friends, then they eat shawarma at the end after they beat the bad guys.
Yep,
that's how this works.
Daredevil, Spider-Man.
All right. Anybody want to make a wacky out of left field prediction? Nobody.
Kate Bishop will manifest as one of the Infinity Stones, allowing Hawkeye to go back in time and save Natasha.
All right, that's a lot better than my stupid Wonder Man thing I was going to say. So let's go with that, Jacob. I'm cool.
Well, I was going to actually go with some of Jacob and Chuck's suggestion that this might be building toward Young Avengers, and I need to go back now and watch the previous 3 episodes. And then keep an eye out on the ones going further. If we see anybody who is in all those shots but doesn't really stand out but appears throughout it, that could be a Kid Kang reference.
Oh,
that character shows up in the Young Avengers. So
as Iron Lad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alternatively, I could easily see, if she survives the series, Echo being recruited by Contessa Valentina to become the newest Thunderbolts member.
Ooh, that would be good too, especially considering who she turns into in the comics. So that would be interesting.
I must have missed it. Who did she?
I'll hit you off the stream.
Okay, I have to find out. What would be awesome is if they did a Moon Knight teaser, like an end credit.
That would be cool too,
because that's supposed to be coming up with Oscar Isaac in the nearest of futures. So
I could picture him being schizophrenic.
Someone
Just
made
in
some-
his real life, yeah. Oscar Isaac, like with a bottle of wine in an alley, talking to himself. I can see it.
Okay, I know this is off subject. I really hope they don't go with the schizophrenia story for Moon Knight.
Oh,
I hope he's
dude.
I hope
They
he's
are.
more possessed by like the spirit of Khonshu or something. Okay, as someone who has dealt with schizophrenia,
Oh, it's awful.
it is one of the worst freaking things you can imagine.
But if handled correctly, it could call attention to the disorder and destigmatize it a little bit, so that people aren't so freaked out. Like at my wife's work, she deals with this one customer who's schizophrenic. And when he's on his meds, he's a great guy. And when he's off his meds, because of how nice he is and stuff like that, in his, when he's medicated, they almost take it upon themselves to kind of help him with whatever he needs. Schizophrenia is it can be a very debilitating illness. But on the other side of that, a lot of that schizophrenia is often tied to high intellect. And rather than saying, oh, he's just schizophrenic, there's no hope, there's maybe this show will point to that and say, hey, there's a possibility of there's a possibility that the show might point to the humanity of people afflicted with that illness, and kind of how to deal with them in the regular public. So that would be my hope.
I have a close family member who was diagnosed schizophrenic a couple decades ago, and it's the same kind of deal. Great on the meds, not good off the meds. But comic books, the comic book media in general, has kind of a bad track record when it comes to mental health.
Right.
So I don't know.
That whole demon in the bottle thing, and then in DC Comics they had the whole heroin thing going on.
Well,
Yeah.
look, the the thing that
Okay, I have nothing else to say.
Sorry. If you're not aware, there's a whole series of memes around Moon Knight, and that was just one of them. So yeah. If you're hearing the audio, I'm sorry, I can't show it on the air.
Go ahead, Chuck.
I was going to say the thing that makes Moon Knight interesting is that he's bananas, and so they can't shy away from that. Now, just like with Hank Pym's issues, and which, if you read between the lines of Ant-Man, it's totally there. But you kind of have to know what his issues are when you see the movie, and then you're like, oh, okay, yeah, this has happened. And so I think they might do it that way with such a light touch, but the fact that he's multiple people is again, I mean, when Bendis wrote Moon Knight, that was 100% the focus, and so that's where I think they're going to have to go.
When does that come out? Anyone know off the top?
No, the only news I get now for that kind of stuff is when you tell me to come on a podcast, Mike.
Yeah, you're supposed to tell him, Mike. Come on.
I can't be everyone's source of geek news. Hang on a second. Let me see what I can find. Here's another Moon Knight meme to enjoy while I look for that. Moon Knight.
There is no currently official release date for Moon Knight. It just says 2022.
We know Oscar Isaac is training. That's I think the latest news that I've heard is that he's training for his fight scenes.
Oh, thank God.
That makes sense.
Yeah, there's no what's his name, Finn. None of that of the actor refused to train, so we have to shoot his kung fu scenes from the neck up.
Just show up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I've had a lot of fun with this. You guys want to talk another couple weeks, see what's going on with Hawkeye?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, seriously, it's been fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah. I kind of want to do a whole show just talk about Moon Knight memes, maybe reading them out loud and like have a reader's theater. But I'm not sure if anyone else would be up for that idea.
We can do that when the Moon Knight series shows up.
There you go. And
All right,
we
cool.
could do that like little like kind of like piano music, and do like actors read mean tweets. You know, BAMF members read Moon Knight memes.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
I had the guys from Bork Memes on one time, and we read some of their tweets on or some of their memes, and Clinton Boomer on. That was actually a really fun show. I got a feeling if we did a bunch of those in just like YouTube Shorts, we would be making millions of dollars. But
Waiting on you.
yeah, sorry, I have to do all this mundane bullshit over his other laptop that holds me back from my dreams of Geek Millionaire. So anyway, back on subject. Hair Hawkeye. It's good so far. Doesn't suck. You should check it out. Anybody else?
There's
have any
lots of
closing-
car chasing.
Lots of car chasing. Lots of quipping. Chuck, you're the special guest we haven't had in a while. Any closing thoughts before we wrap it up?
Just that when Jacob was talking about the world not being at stake, I would like to see an homage to my favorite Matt Fraction Hawkeye moment, which is the flashback to the Kree Skrull War, where his thought bubble is, when is Thor going to show up and make this okay? that is my interior, that is my vision forever of what Hawkeye is doing, like all the time. Like fighting Thanos, he's like, where's Thor? Okay, he's over there. Okay, we're cool. All right.
This could be a 5-minute battle. It's like Xander in Buffy.
I love the Ultron thing that he does with Scarlet Witch when they're in that like blown out building. that is like one of my favorite scenes of any Marvel movie, because it's like, look, I'm just a guy with a bow and arrow shooting robots. He's like, none of this makes sense.
It wasn't quite like winking at the audience, breaking the fourth wall, but it was close, right?
A little bit.
Yeah.
But the thing that, like, when I was in the theater and I saw that was like one of the last movies I saw in the theater. The people in the audience, like when he was like, "Now you stay here and I'll do what I can to lead these away and keep you safe. But if you walk out there, you're an Avenger." And you heard everybody in my row go, it was cool. It was definitely cool. Not as cool as the Captain America Infinity War hammer thing, because like
Nothing will ever be
Yeah.
that cool.
dude, I watched the that one cat who strings together fan reactions, and I watched that for a good half an hour, 30 minutes. After that, I was like, I want to grab my Craftsman and go smack something. This is the greatest day ever.
Yeah, that's like the Millennium Falcon, 1978, coming at the end of Star Wars. It was beautiful. So,
Hell yeah.
All right. On that happy note, I'm going to play our musical outro.
I love it.
Second. Yeah. The BAMF Podcast, we're your home for trenchant, witty, insightful pop culture critiques. And we'll see you in a week or two whenever to talk about the rest of Hawkeye. So
Send us
See
your
ya.
Moon Knight memes.
send us your Moon Knight memes. And we'll be off the air in just